Hello, my name is Christina Bonner, and I'm one of the librarians here at Ohio Dominican University. And I'll be showing you some resources and search strategies for finding court cases and even shepherdizing a case, which I'll explain in this tutorial as well, for Accounting 422. So we're starting now with the library homepage, and we're going to get into a research guide for your course. And I've clicked on Research Tools and Services. Now I'll go in and choose a research guide. And as I mentioned, we have one specific for your course, so I'm going to go here, Course Research Guides, and then Accounting 422. And this research guide has 3 pages on it. I'll go through all 3 with you in this brief video. The first page is where we'll start. Its significance lies in the fact that it gets you into the database you'll need for doing court case research, Nexis Uni. So if I go ahead and click on Nexis Uni, it has a lot of stuff in it, not just court cases. So when you see this nice big search box, ignore it. You want the advanced search because we just want to get into it for cases. So we're in advanced search. Now we'll click on legal and then cases and then United States cases. Okay, so now we have our search screen. So now we can start to search for our cases. And you can do it by doing a keyword search based on your topic that you need to find cases for. Or you can go in and search by party name, if you know the party name of your case, or by brief citation. And I'll show you all 3 of these searches here in this video. But let's start with a search for cases on the topic of refinancing mortgages in the short term. So I would put in mortgage and refinancing and short term. And I have the ands in here so that it will pull up each of the 3 terms in every case. It will not pull up a case if it has just 2 out of 3 of those terms. They have to have all 3. I would add at this point, when you're doing a keyword search like this, you may want to try a different spelling, so I might try short term without a hyphen. You might try word variations, refinancing or refinances, or even mortgage or mortgages. Think synonyms and related terms as well, because you don't want to miss a major case in doing your research. So now I'll go ahead and click with search box here, and we'll start our first search off like this. And you'll notice we have 1,400 cases. And you'll notice also these are the other types of materials you'll find in this database, but we're focused on cases. And the cases are sorted by relevance, which is good. Even though there are 1,400 cases here, Nexis Uni's relevance ranking is very good. So if you start to see irrelevant cases in your list, even if it's after just 2 pages maybe, you can be fairly certain that the rest of them in that list after that point, if you've ranked it by relevance as we have here, they're going to be irrelevant. You won't have to go through all 1,400. That said, you can also, depending on your need, you can sort relevance by jurisdiction, by court from highest to lowest, and by date, newest. So that is also an option. And I also want to show you on the results page, on the left-hand side here, you can also narrow your search. If you wanted to put in an additional term here, you can also narrow it by timeline, because as you can see, we probably don't need 1917. So you can change that as well. But be cautious with that, because again, you don't want to miss a major case. Court. You can also focus on just a particular court, which can be important depending on what you're getting into, what you find. So you can limit by any of these. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down now. You'll notice the words that are highlighted. These are words that were in our search, and that's why these cases are getting pulled up. I'm going to go actually to the second page because I want to show you something specific there. And And now that we're in their second page, let's take a look at number 12. And again, this is why it came up, because of all these terms here. You can actually go directly to where those terms are highlighted, or you can go into the full text of the document here where it begins. That's where we're going. This is Huntsman versus the Commissioner. It's a 91 TC 917. TC is short for Tax Court. 91 is the 91st volume of the Tax Court Reporter this appears in, and then 917 is the beginning page within that volume in which it appears. So we're going to go ahead and go into this one. And this will pull up the document about the case. It's full text. Everything in Nexis Uni is full text. And it starts off by giving you this brief citation, Huntsman versus the Commissioner, 91 TC 917. You also get an option to get the full citation. If you're going to use this case and need the full citation in APA format, here it is. You can copy and paste it. It also gives you the year in which the decision was made and filed, and then you get the full text starting here going down below. And this, by the way, this is citation also refers to the reporter. In this case, it's the tax court itself that is reporting on the case. You may see one or two other reporters here. Basically, it's going to give you the same information. It may give you a slightly different summary, but it's going to be the same text. The only other thing you might find different would be a different order of the sections depending on which reporter you're in. So I typically just go with the very first one that I see here. And so we have our core terms. These will give you the major parts of the case, what it focuses on. You'll also get a case summary, important too. The outcome will be given here. And then you will get into what is called LexisNexis head notes. Now, the head notes are very, very important to go through. They give you the key legal points of a case. And as you can see, if there is any of the authorities, any of the codes, it's going to give you hyperlinks directly to the relevant sections here, and those will be within Nexis Uni as well. They may refer to any number of materials. If they're in Nexis Uni, they will be hyperlinked, which is great. And head notes are just really, really good, so you'll be able to follow exactly what's going on in this case and why. Now, the syllabus is just another word for a brief abstract, and in this case, very brief, couple lines. You'll also get, in addition to the syllabus, the individuals involved in the case, and then you'll get the opinions. And they can be, as you can see, rather lengthy. They're also hypertext, not only to code, but you'll find hypertext links to other cases that are cited here. Very important to note, so you can follow that through if you need to. Dissenting voices are also given, dissenting opinions here. And then finally, you'll have some footnotes. And again, even the footnotes are going to be hyperlinked. Okay, so if we scroll back up, that is the full text document on this case, Huntsman versus the Commissioner. Now I want to go ahead and show you how to search specifically for a case rather than going in by topics. We're going back to our advanced search, and here we are. Instead of searching by the keyword, we're now going to search by party. Let's say you had started your search on this topic and you'd found a great case, but you didn't have time to then read it. You had to set it aside for something else. So now we're going to go back in and find that case, and it's Huntsman. So here's our one party name. We already have an and here, and we'll put Commissioner down below. So there's our party versus party. And we'll do our search. And this brings up 12 cases. Obviously, the first one's not the one we were looking for, nor is the second one, but here it is. Here's our third case. And we know by the citation and by the year. So now let's go back. And I want to show you how you can search by citation and be even more exact in what you retrieve. So we're going to get rid of the party names. And this one now is by citation. So our brief citation is 91 TC 917, 917 actually. Okay, you'll notice I did not put in any punctuation. Very important if you're going to do a citation search in this database. So now we just pull up the exact match right up top. So here's our document. Here's our case, Huntsman versus the Commissioner from 1988. And so now you know how to search for cases. Now I want to get into what this red dot means. This is called a Shepard Signal, or a Shepard Signal indicator, and we call them Shepard Signal for short. You'll notice it's over here and it's over here as well. Let me pause for a moment and bring up a page that gives you these Shepard's signals so you can see what they mean. You are likely to have, with any of the cases you pull up, it's not always, but there's a lot of them that have these indicators, a red, a yellow, or a green. There are a couple of additional ones, but these are the main three, and it works just like a traffic light signal. Red is warning. You want to stop, because the red sign here means that there is a strong negative history or treatment of your case. It may have been overruled, it may have been reversed, and you'll need to find out. If you have the yellow symbol, that means caution. There has been some significant negative impact on your case. It may have been criticized, it may have been limited. So again, you'll need to stop and find out who has done this and what's going on. If you get a green light, then you're good to go. It typically means that you can count on this still being good law, so to speak. So those are your Shepard's signal indicators, and this gives you just a brief overview. I've got some additional help on our research guide to get you some more information, but this gives you the rundown. So let's go back now to our case, Huntsman versus Commissioner, and you will get here in the upper right corner, the database editor team will give you what they think is the main reason that you have this warning sign here. And indeed, they've given us what they think is the major court case. This one's from 1990, so 2 years after our 1988 case. This case is citing our case, and not in a good way. So you can see what it's done here, and you can go directly to this case from this window. I also highly recommend going into the citing decisions, of which here there are 20. And if we go in there, you're going to now get a different list of cases. These are all cases that have cited, have referred to our Huntsman versus Commissioner. And in this list, you'll notice that the default now is to sort by the highest to lowest court. Very, very important to know that. And that said, you can change it if you need to. Usually, this is very important to keep as is. But then you can go over here on the left, and you have more options now because we're looking at this differently. We're looking at cases that have cited this one. You can focus in on a particular court and do it that way. You can also go in. You'll notice in this list we have our court cases, and then we have something over here called discussion. This has 1 of 4 points. This has 3 out of 4. You can narrow by discussion. If your case has just 1 point, it simply means that it has cited the case with minimal or no discussion at all. If you have 2 dashes, it means it's briefly mentioned it. If you're up to 3 dashes, then the case has discussed your cited case with some analysis. You don't want to miss those. So you definitely want to get the three bars. And if it has 4 dashes, which we don't have in our list, otherwise it would be appearing right here, it means it's been completely analyzed, and you definitely want to make sure you take a look at a case that does that with your case. So a couple of really good tips there, and again, there's the timeline you can also focus by if need be. And the other thing I'll mention is that even the citing cases, the citing decisions as they're called, they too can have Shepard signals. So you want to follow those through as well. And the other thing that I would mention, you'll notice this was the one that we were told was the main reason why the Lexis editors think anyway that why our case may be in jeopardy. You can go in here like we did before to directly to the very beginning of the document, or more importantly, you can click right where it cites your case. And if I click on that, it's going to go in to the 1990 document and directly to where your case is cited, which will save you time and really help you zero in on that. And that's how Shepardizing a case works, and that is Nexis Uni. So you also, I will add before I go out of Nexis Uni, you have some options up here for printing, for emailing, for downloading. You even can send it to Google Drive if you use that. So some things to think about here, but that's Nexis Uni. So let's go ahead now. I'm going to get you back into our course research guide, and you'll notice we have our chat pop-up window awaiting us here. That's because one of my colleagues is in chat, and we are available to assist you this way. I'll give you all of our contact information here momentarily. I just want to mention that our homepage, we have a PDF here that summarizes how to find a case in Nexis Uni. What I've done here is also available in the PDF. Shepardizing a case, I also have a PDF here for you that goes through how to do that and how to work with a case's subsequent history, as we've done just now. Also, you have 2 guides to the Shepard Signal indicators, which will give you a little bit more information than I have today, especially if you run into one that we haven't covered. And then also we have some editorial phrases and additional information on working with appellate history here, should you need to consult those. Now, if we go up, I click on Authorities and Cites. This is going to give you sources for authorities. Now, all of these are in Nexis Uni, but I also wanted to list these out because these are freely available to you and to the public. So we have our Internal Revenue Code. This is coming from Cornell's Legal Information Institute, the U.S. Code directly from the U.S. House, and then the Ohio Revised Code from Law Writer. And of course, our court cases are going to be in Nexis Uni. And then we have also here for you some help with the authorities. So if you have any terms that you are unfamiliar with, you need to find out what they mean, we have a legal dictionary here. Again, a brief guide to the signal indicators, and then some guides to reading the citations. You'll notice in the results list many different abbreviations. We have 2 really good sources to help you understand what those abbreviations mean if you need to look them up. Also from Boston College Law Library, how to read a case citation. And then our last 2 that I'll point out on this page, we have 2 here resources that will help you with understanding the hierarchy and the structure of the authorities. And then our last page is our Research and Citation Help page. We do, in addition to the export citation option in Nexis Uni, we have a link here for help with APA citations, with legal and government documents. And then we also have all of our contact information over here. We're available by chat, by email, by phone, and you can also make a virtual appointment with us live one-on-one if you need some assistance in Nexis Uni. And I would add that if you email us, it reaches all 4 of our librarians, myself included, and we tend to respond to those as soon as we can. Our maximum response time would be 1 business day on that. And that's our research guide for Accounting 422. That's Nexis Uni. And I hope this has proven helpful to you. And I want to say again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And I wish you all the best in your research.